The hangar doors groaned open, revealing the swirling, dangerous energy storm outside. Jonah Hayes gripped the controls, his knuckles white, yet his heart was steady. The ship vibrated beneath him, responding to his touch as if it knew what he was thinking. Its hum was steady, comforting, and alive. "Do you feel the storm's power?" the ship asked. Its voice was calm, but the words carried urgency. Jonah nodded, though the ship could sense his mind better than his eyes could. "Yes, it's massive. Could wipe out the colony." "It could," the ship confirmed. "But you have courage. You have thought. You have humanity. That is what matters." Jonah exhaled slowly. He could feel the raw energy swirling in the atmosphere. Unlike anything Earth pilots had faced, this storm was alive in its own way. Lightning arcs of unknown color struck across the barren landscape. The air crackled with dangerous energy, yet the ship seemed to shield him with a protective aura, a barrier of unknown technology. With a deep breath, he pressed the control panel. The ship's systems responded instantly, lights and symbols shifting as if acknowledging his intent. The semi-sentient vessel had chosen him, and now it trusted him. Jonah felt a surge of determination. Humanity had always faced the unknown and thrived. This was no different. The cockpit displayed a holographic map of the storm. Jonah studied it carefully. "It's moving faster than I thought," he said. "We need to redirect it before it hits the colony." "I can assist," the ship replied. "But your decisions will guide us. No one else could control my systems like this." Jonah nodded. His mind raced, thinking of strategies. Old human engineering techniques combined with the ship's alien technology might just work. He remembered stories from the old pilots, how humans could adapt, improvise, and innovate when faced with impossible challenges. That adaptability was humanity's greatest strength, and now he would prove it. He initiated the ship's thrusters, and it lifted smoothly from the hangar floor. Dust swirled in the air and beams of moonlight reflected off the hull. Outside, the storm raged, lightning dancing across the horizon like the fingers of a giant cosmic hand. Jonah adjusted the controls, finding a rhythm, a flow between human thought and alien technology. "We need to use the solar winds," Jonah said aloud. "They can give us speed, enough to intercept the storm." The ship hummed in agreement. Light beams arced along its surface, and suddenly, Jonah felt a surge of speed as they shot into the open sky. The colony below became smaller, mere dots of light as he soared toward the energy storm. The ship's sensors analyzed the storm's movement, feeding him data in ways his human mind barely grasped. Yet he understood enough to make precise calculations. The first lightning strike hit dangerously close. Jonah felt the power of the storm, a force so immense it could easily destroy any human-made vessel. Yet the ship held steady. "It trusts you," he whispered. "I won't let you down." He maneuvered through the storm, dodging arcs of energy and turbulence that would have shredded a normal ship. With each successful maneuver, he felt a deeper connection with the vessel. The alien AI seemed to anticipate his thoughts, shifting energy flows and adjusting shields automatically. Together they became one mind, a combination of human ingenuity and advanced technology. Hours seemed to pass in minutes. Jonah guided the ship to the center of the storm, the most dangerous point where energy swirled like a living maelstrom. The holographic display showed an unstable core forming, a pulse of energy that could annihilate everything in the colony's path. "This is it," Jonah said. "We have to redirect it, or everything is gone." "You are correct," the ship replied. "I can channel the energy, but only if your mind directs it." Jonah focused, visualizing the path the energy should take. He remembered physics, chemistry, old engineering tricks, and human intuition. Using the ship's controls, he created a pathway that would safely redirect the energy into a distant star, far enough to avoid any danger to human settlements. Lightning arcs struck the ship, but its shields held. Jonah's hands moved in perfect sync with the holographic controls, each motion precise and confident. He was doing what no pilot had dared, facing a storm with intelligence, courage, and hope. Finally, the pulse surged toward the star. Jonah watched as the energy flowed along the designated path. The storm's power diminished, arcs fading into harmless sparks. The sky cleared. The colony below was safe. Jonah exhaled, relief washing over him. "We did it," he said softly. The ship hummed in approval, a sound almost like laughter. "You have done more than survive," the ship said. You have shown humanity's worth. You have courage. You have thought. You have adapted. You are worthy, Jonah smiled. For the first time he felt the full weight of what had happened. Humanity had faced the unknown and triumphed. And he, a simple scavenger, had become the bridge between human daring and alien intelligence. As he guided the ship back toward the colony, news of his feat had already spread. Colonists looked up at the sky, seeing the glowing ship returning like a comet. Awe and hope filled their hearts. Humans had been reminded that courage, ingenuity, and determination could overcome even the most impossible challenges. When the ship finally landed back in Hangar 17, Jonah stepped out, exhausted but elated. The hangar seemed different now, alive in a quiet way. The colony gathered around, eyes wide with amazement and respect. You did it," one of the elders said, shaking his head. "I never thought anyone could control that ship." Jonah smiled humbly. "It's not just me," he said. "It's humanity. We think, we adapt, we face what others fear. That's what makes us strong." The alien ship glowed softly behind him as if acknowledging the words. Jonah knew it had more to teach, more to show him about the universe. And he was ready. Over the following days, the ship revealed more of its secrets. It could travel faster than any human vessel, navigate unknown systems, and interface with technology no human mind could fully comprehend. But Jonah learned quickly, combining his experience, curiosity, and determination with the ship's guidance. The colonists watched as Jonah prepared for humanity's first official exploration mission into uncharted space. They realized that he was not only their protector, but also a symbol, a reminder of what humans could achieve when they dared to act with courage and intelligence. As he boarded the cockpit one final time, the ship spoke, "Are you ready to go beyond?" Jonah gripped the controls. The stars stretched out before him, vast and inviting. "Yes," he said firmly. "Let's show the universe what humanity can do." The ship lifted off, leaving a trail of soft blue light behind. It moved faster than any human ship had ever gone, the colony below shrinking into the distance. Jonah looked out at the infinite sky, heart filled with excitement and wonder. For the first time, humans had a chance to explore the cosmos not as timid travelers, but as bold pioneers. The combination of human courage, intelligence, and ingenuity with alien technology had opened a door to the stars, and Jonah Hayes, who had bought a hangar for 60 cents, was the first to step through. The universe awaited. The colony of Aurora Station was quiet that morning. Dust swirled in the thin, pale atmosphere, stirred by the occasional wind that rattled the old metal structures scattered across the plateau. Among them stood Hangar 17, abandoned for decades, its paint flaking, and its roof sagging like an old man's shoulders. Jonah Hayes walked across the cracked concrete with a small datapad in his hand. The auction had ended just hours ago, and he had won the hangar for 60 cents. Everyone had laughed when he announced it. A hangar for 60 cents? That's barely the price of a cup of nutrient tea, his neighbor had chuckled. But Jonah did not mind. He had an eye for value, for things others saw as useless, and he had a feeling about Hangar 17. The door creaked as he pushed it open. The smell of rust and stale air hit him immediately. Old shipping containers were stacked haphazardly along the walls, and a few scattered tools lay across the dusty floor. Sunlight slipped through the cracks in the ceiling, falling in beams onto the concrete, giving the place an almost holy feel. Jonah stepped inside, boots echoing in the emptiness. He ran his fingers along the cold metal walls, noting scratches, markings, and faint alien glyphs etched in a language long forgotten. Most colonists dismissed these old inscriptions as meaningless, but Jonah's curiosity was piqued. Something about them felt deliberate, almost alive. He moved deeper into the hangar, eyes adjusting to the dim light. Then he saw it. Half buried under a torn, dust-streaked tarp was the shape of a ship. Its outline was unlike anything he had ever seen. Sleek, metallic, but with curves and angles that suggested a design far beyond human engineering. The metal shimmered faintly, almost as if it was breathing. "Interesting," Jonah whispered, stepping closer. He ran his hand along the hull. It was cold, smooth, and vibrating faintly like a heartbeat. He pulled back slightly. "It's alive?" he murmured. A sudden hum filled the hangar. Jonah froze. The sound was low, steady, almost soothing. His heart raced as he realized the hum was coming from the ship. Slowly, a voice spoke, not through speakers, but directly in his mind. Human. Do you seek to enter? Jonah stumbled back, eyes wide. What? He asked aloud. The voice responded calmly, clearly, but not from any mouthpiece. I am the ship. I have waited. Jonah blinked. His mind raced. Ships with AI were not new, but this was different. He had never heard of a ship choosing its pilot, letting itself be found. The colony's legends spoke of such ships, but most dismissed them as stories. Stories that kept ambitious pilots away. He looked at the tarp. He could pull it back and examine the cockpit, but a part of him hesitated. Why me? He asked the voice silently. Because you are human. Because you are brave. Because you think beyond fear, the ship replied. Its voice was calm, almost hypnotic. Jonah swallowed hard. He remembered the stories from the older pilots. No one dares to touch me, he said aloud, gesturing toward the ship. People say it chooses, and anyone who tries disappears. I have waited for one worthy, the ship said. I wait for intelligence. I wait for courage. I wait for humanity. Jonah's curiosity overrode fear. He slowly lifted the tarp. Dust rose in the air, glinting in the morning sun. The ship was unlike anything built in the colony, or anywhere humans had explored. Its hull was smooth, reflective, yet shimmered with soft lights. Strange symbols glowed faintly along the edges. He stepped closer, running his fingers over the control panel. It felt warm. Then the canopy slowly lifted on its own. The hum grew louder, resonating in Jonah's chest. He stared into the cockpit. The controls were unfamiliar, alien, yet somehow inviting. He reached for the seat, feeling the material shift slightly, almost like it was welcoming him. Sit, the voice said. And he did. As he settled in, screens and lights flickered to life. Data streamed in patterns he could barely understand, yet his mind grasped some of it. Energy readings, navigation routes, star charts, none of it human. And yet his mind understood it. The ship was teaching itself to him as he sat. Jonah leaned back, heart pounding. He remembered the warnings, the legends. The ship tests your mind. It rejects the unworthy. Many have died trying to control it. But he felt no fear now, only awe. This was something humanity had never seen. Something beyond the frontier. He pressed a button tentatively. The ship responded, a gentle vibration under his hands. Lights shifted along the hull and the hum became a melody, subtle and harmonious. A sense of connection bloomed in Jonah's chest. You are the first human to sit in my seat in centuries, the ship said. I am old and I am powerful. But I am incomplete without you. Jonah's mind raced. Incomplete? What do you mean? I need a pilot. I need thought. I need courage. I need humanity. Outside the hangar, a small crowd had gathered. Colonists, curious about the dust and lights, peered in from the distance. Jonah waved them away. This was not a ship to be seen by the unprepared. This was something beyond stories, something humanity had forgotten to believe in. He spent the next hours exploring the cockpit. Every control, every interface, every glowing symbol seemed alive, responding to his touch and thought. The ship whispered coordinates of distant systems, places humans had never explored. And with each passing moment, Jonah realized that this hangar, this forgotten corner of the colony, held a key to the stars. Night fell over Aurora Station. The pale moons rose over the horizon, casting silver light across the hangar. Jonah sat in the cockpit, the ship now fully awake, humming softly around him. Outside, the wind rattled the old metal walls, but inside, a quiet warmth filled the air. Suddenly, alarms flashed on the cockpit displays. Not dangerous alarms, but warnings. Jonah looked at the glowing screens. A nearby energy storm was forming, a phenomenon known to destroy settlements if left unchecked. The ship's glow intensified. A test is coming, the voice said. Do you have courage? Jonah clenched his fists. I do, he said firmly. I will do what no one else can. The hum of the ship grew louder, almost as if it approved. Jonah realized then that the stories were right. No ordinary pilot could handle this vessel. But human ingenuity, courage, and will, that was the key. As the storm approached, the hangar seemed to shrink around him. Lights flickered and the shadows danced along the walls. Jonah pressed a panel and the ship responded instantly. Engines, unseen, whispered to life beneath the hull. The ship vibrated gently, acknowledging his presence. He leaned forward, peering out of the hangar doors. The storm's energy arcs were visible even from a distance. Lightning of unknown color struck the ground. He swallowed, feeling a mix of fear and excitement. Are you ready? The voice asked. Jonah's mind raced. He thought of the colonists, the forgotten frontier, and humanity's endless desire to explore. Yes, he said. I am ready. With that, the ship responded. The hum turned into a deep resonance. The doors of the hangar slowly opened, revealing the storm outside. Jonah gripped the controls. The cockpit glowed warmly, responding to his touch. For the first time in centuries, the ship had a human pilot, and humanity had a chance to reclaim a place among the stars.